Hello, and welcome back to this series of early years videos from the North Somerset Educational Psychology Service. Today we're going to look at an issue which can cause a lot of difficulty to young people, their classmates, and the adults around them, and that's when a child does not want to give up control of a game or activity. We can probably all remember someone from our own childhood who always wanted to be in control, always changed the rules at the last minute, or always wanted to have a certain toy at playtimes. Typically, what happens is that child becomes gradually more isolated until no one wants to play with them. They may be in control, but only of a lonely, unstimulating, and unrewarding game. Giving up that sense of control, learning to share it and compromise, is a crucial life skill for anyone. It will prepare them for school life and later, employment and parenting. Let's look at what a need for control might be telling us about a child and what we can do to help them learn the value of giving up control and working with others in partnership. Before we can help children give up control, we need to understand where the need to feel in control comes from. Again, we can think of human behaviour as being like an iceberg. What we see on the surface is being propped up by loads more going on underneath. Wanting to feel in control applies to all people at all ages. Even in adulthood, many of us struggle with feeling that other people are in control of us or that we have no control over a situation. Although it's a normal desire, it can cause problems when it is excessive or when it results in other people wanting to avoid us. So, let's look at some of the main reasons that preschool children find it difficult to give up a sense of feeling in control. Well, firstly, preschool children are egocentric. This means that they think the world revolves around them and that they struggle to recognize that other people have their own needs and opinions. One of the greatest challenges for children with attending preschool is shifting from a home environment where they often have complete control to a preschool environment where everyone else, children and adults, want to feel in control too. Secondly, preschool children are learning about autonomy. We've all known or worked with children who are beginning to understand the power of saying no, and this is because it's a natural stage of child development, and that is learning about autonomy or feeling in charge. Wanting to be in charge of games and activities is a natural, normal, and healthy stage of child development. A third reason for wanting to be in control is that children might have a fear of the unknown. Most children will have a mental model of how a game or activity should progress. What will happen if someone else is in charge? Will it be as fun as usual? Will I get to do the things I enjoy? Will I be safe? Sometimes a need for control is based on a fear or anxiety about an unknown, unfamiliar situation. Another reason for needing a sense of control can be impatience. As we all know, the typical preschool child is not blessed with a huge amount of patience. It can be very difficult for them to wait for a reward or make a compromise about their reward. Giving up control for children might mean that they have to wait longer than they are used to, or may have to accept a different role or reward from a game. So, when we see a child who struggles to give up control, we need to ask, what is this behaviour telling us about the child's underlying needs? When we have an idea about why someone needs to feel in control, we can work out what is most likely to help them. I'll now talk through some examples of preschool games and activities that address the underlying needs, including children who are egocentric, learning about feeling in charge, anxious about the unknown, or still developing their patience. First up, we have games which help children practice not being in control. For example, we can look at Simon Says, a classic game which encourages kids to follow instructions and give up control as they only perform actions when the leader says, Simon Says. Similar to Simon Says, the red light, green light game teaches children to listen and follow directions, reinforcing the idea of letting go of control. Building these games into daily or weekly routines can be very helpful for children who struggle when they do not feel like they're controlling or leading a game. Next, we have games and activities which help children develop empathy with others. In particular, we want children to hear about or watch situations where characters have less fun or feel unhappy as a result of being bossy or controlling. We can create these scenarios in role play or puppet play, as well as traditional stories such as Little Miss Bossy. One really nice activity that's used a lot in preschools is a storytelling circle. This is where children take turns to add one sentence to a story, which is then written up or drawn out by an adult. Finally, let's look at games and activities which show children how it can sometimes be more rewarding and more fun to work together and share control. One lovely, common example of this is setting up group art projects. Activities where children work together and take turns on a single art project can help them understand the value of shared decision-making. Similarly, we can try group building projects. When we ask children to take turns adding to a tower or building, we're showing them that they can achieve something greater by allowing their friends to contribute and share the fun. Obstacle courses are highly motivating and rewarding activities for children in early years settings. Designing obstacle courses together and taking turns to complete them teaches kids that working together can result in a big, exciting reward. Another activity which has big rewards for working together and taking turns is group cooking or baking. Cooking activities are great for giving children specific roles like the mixer and the weigher and the sifter. These roles help prevent one child from trying to dominate and control the whole group. And as for the rewards of these activities, well, the proof is in the pudding. In summary, the key to helping children give up control is to create an environment where children learn to collaborate, share, and understand that sharing and taking turns will result in lots of fun and rewards. And finally, let's not forget about safeguarding. Challenging behaviours in young children can sometimes indicate an underlying safeguarding need. As an early years practitioner, it's vital that you keep this in mind when supporting children who exhibit concerning behaviours like throwing, biting, fears and phobias, or separation anxiety. Remember, all behaviour communicates an unmet need. Take time to understand the possible function of the behaviour and what the child may be trying to communicate through their actions. Could the behaviour be a reaction to feeling unsafe or vulnerable in some way? Could the behaviour be a reflection of what the child has experienced at home? We need to make safeguarding a priority by looking beyond the behaviour to identify any potential welfare concerns. Be alert to signs of neglect, abuse, or exposure to domestic violence. Work closely with families, but avoid making assumptions. Focus on listening and building trust. Where you have any safeguarding concerns, no matter how small, ensure you follow your settings, procedures, and protocols. Record observations accurately and factually. Seek support from your designated safeguarding lead if you need guidance. With sensitivity, care, and professional curiosity, we can ensure early years settings are safe places where children's well-being is protected and they can thrive. Let's work together to keep children safe. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you found this video useful.